Hello! Surprise!
Hello! How the devil are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Tired. Bizarrely tired. I thought normally because on Fridays I'm quite shattered because of the work week, and I thought, well, it's a 4-day work week, so surely it's going to be better. But no, I was just as exhausted yesterday, and that clearly has carried on through to today. So I had a little nap early on this evening. I put my alarm to wake up, and then I had a big panic to think, oh my god, it's 7:15. I best start getting myself sorted.
Well, I was a little bit like that because do you know what? I've done something very unusual today. I ate dinner before, which, as you know, Soph, I'm always starving when I come on. I never eat. I had a ploughman's, and I was sitting there watching the end of Thunder Force, which I started watching last night in bed.
Okay.
And I couldn't commit to it last night, and I thought, you know what, I have to finish watching it, and then I thought, oh, it's 7:30, I haven't done my hair, I haven't got the wine, I haven't done anything, so yes, it's a bad rush as usual, and I only do this once a fortnight now, so it's
I know,
bad.
you're so lazy. It's not as if you've got anything important else to do. I mean, apart from your schoolwork, obviously.
Yes, my schoolwork and work this weekend as well, unfortunately. Helen's in the room. Hello, Helen. Nice to see you, my darling.
Hi.
Hello. Look, always looks very happy in that picture. I know it's the same one she's had for a while, but she always looks very committed.
It always, it's because it's the same picture. She always looks happy. It's the same picture. She looks happy in the picture, and then you look at it again. She's still going to be happy.
We're just going to slag people's photos off now. That's how our sorted.
Let's do this. I think Helen's picture is fantastic.
It is. It puts us all to shame. Although mine is actually, I don't know what mine is. I won't have a look. Charlie's here. Evening. Been a while.
Hey,
Hope you're
Charlie.
well. Yes, I think we're both well. Both very tired, Charlie.
He's either got braces or a backpack on that picture. It looks like a jetpack.
It might be a papoose, and he's a new dad and forgotten that he's got the front. You never know. Rob is also in the building. Evening, Rob. Let's all look at that. He has a car.
That's Top Gear. That's a real Top Gear photo. That one. Is that on a racing track, Rob? Did you go on that looks like a pretty fancy looking car.
Your eyesight is better than mine. I thought he was standing there in a mood because he blew his lips up on the exhaust pipe. But there we go. Here we go. I was looking for a B, and look, that's what we got for Brendan.
Hey,
just a
Brendan.
B. Evening, Brendan. Oh, this is my new game, slag people off. It's nice and easy.
What do you mean your new game? This is what you do in real life. I mean, even before lockdown.
Who needs a degree for slating people? Amy's here. She can't stop long. She's in work. Let's put her on the screen and have a little nose. She is in front of a glass building.
Farm. It's like a farm depot. Do you double up at the weekend and kind of pick vegetables and strawberries and things?
Maybe she's milking something.
She certainly does. Yes, she certainly milks.
No trains in that picture, Amy. It's a little disappointing.
I know.
So Robert says, evening, you two. I hope you're okay. Thank you, Robert. Don't move anywhere, Robert. We're going to have a look.
Yes, that's a cheeky little look. That's kind of like, oh, hey. So
he's got one eyebrow higher than the other. You look surprised, Robert. But there we go. My mum joke for the evening. David Lane's in. He goes, clap, clap, clap. Hi, everyone. Clap, clap, clap.
Hey, David. You are going on a Pokemon hunt because you've got your Pokeball in your hand, and you've obviously... Is that a Pokemon hat as well?
Spider-Man hat. We all know that. He never takes it up.
It's all the way over there. I'm sorry. I just...
Helen says she's always happy. Good to hear that.
Exactly.
Martin says evening all,
Martin.
and he goes,
That's just well, that was a great radio show from the F.O.D Uncles this evening. Very, very well done. That was absolutely brilliant. And for last night as well, that was equally good. And
we did delay starting
on Thursday.
Yes. And me last Sunday as well. Don't forget me.
Oh, God. Right, okay, you've mentioned it. It's like kids. You can't just buy a present for one. You've got to buy a present for everybody.
It's fairness for everyone.
So I have to say, saying well done for one. I've got to say well done for everybody. But yes, and...
My mother never did that.
I have to take other people's words for your show on Sunday because I'm afraid I missed it. There were other there were other things going on in my world.
Everyone's got busy worlds now. We're allowed to see people. Rob's confirming he was in. Yes, Towcester. What? Yes, you had burnt your lips on the exhaust pipe in Towcester.
Say that again. Towcester.
I don't know you say it.
Are you like,
Towcester.
Isn't it pronounced toaster?
Ooh, how many slices in that?
It's
I don't know.
It's just the other side of Bicester. It's
it?
It's like Bicester, Silverstone, and then Toaster.
Oh, I bet you it's where the race course is.
That's just
Rob says
that's
race
just brilliant. Oh, it's a race course. I bet. So, do you pronounce Loughborough as Loggybarock then?
I'd never go there, to be fair. I've driven past it. I glanced in, I thought, that's not for me. I'm not a snob, but no. So Amy says, I don't pick vegetables, I just watch them. Yes, be careful, because we've got magnifying glasses. Look carefully at that picture, and we'll find more than vegetables in that picture. Brendan says, bring it on, you slag. And David's correcting us. It was Deadpool, wasn't Spider-Man at all.
Okay, but you were still going Pokemon hunting, though. Still going Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Got to catch them all.
Yes. And some of the apps you may find, you probably will.
How did you get Pikachu onto a bus? You Pokemon?
This is why, ladies and gentlemen, anything once a fortnight now.
That was for the Pokemon fans, the Pokemon family. There. Oh, that's the other thing that we've got to talk about that I know you don't watch, but I think certainly Helen does. Yes, well, if I remember lately, if I just genuinely remember.
Almost a song.
I'm just talking rubbish, and I've only just opened the can of beer, and we've got to talk about the circle. Oh my gosh, oh my days. But anyway,
I don't watch it, but I did notice you do on Facebook. I was watching that. And I noticed a lot of people did watch it because it was one of the only things that was on TV on Friday night.
No, I know. I thought what was the funniest thing about it was that after it all finished, I didn't watch it as it was being broadcast. I recorded it and then watched it a little bit later on. And one of my friends had posted on my comments like, oh my goodness, a brand new series. I'm like, yeah. This is like the final is tonight. You've kind of missed the entire thing, so shows how switched on they are. But there we go.
It's not a programme I watch. I mean, a circle just goes round and round, and I think that's probably what the programme's a little bit like.
I did know you've nailed it. That's the basic premise. Yes, it's just a big.
I should write shows of TV, like something out of Mary Poppins. I'm imagining.
Absolutely, that's exactly with the seahorses. The seahorses.
It's not really the animal I meant, to be fair, but
but it's the one you said, so I can only go by what you told me. This just
comes out. Oh look, we've got spam. Want to become famous by followers, primes, and viewers? Oh, I might do that.
Don't click the link. Don't click the link. Don't click the link.
We got a few. Oh, I feel popular now because we got spam. And I nearly had spam earlier. I just chose the ham instead.
I was going to say, I thought you had a little bit of a twitch there.
I do have a natural twitch, actually. It's a disability. It's hidden. Well, it's not when I do it, but it's a bit obvious when I do it.
So, do you get arrested for indecency when you do it?
Wow, I've been writing about that in my assessment today. I had to have the help of the F.O.D uncles. Well done for a good show earlier, by the way, F.O.D uncles, because they'd changed computers. And I was like, do I do this? Because I have a deadline. And I thought, I'll do that. And while I thought I was getting what we call a similarity report processed and reviewed to see if you plagiarised anything. They were talking, and I stopped all of a sudden when I was helping go, oh my God, they wouldn't let me have the masturbation paragraph in there. Because I wrote about this case called Cheeseman versus DPP, where this gentleman was masturbating in the toilet. I have to give you the facts because it just sounds like I'm being dirty and I'm not. And the law stated that people who witnessed the man doing his thing have to be passengers. But the policemen obviously hadn't travelled to the public toilet, so they weren't technically passengers. So the gentleman who was caught having a meet in the toilet got away scot-free. So, but they wouldn't let me have it because it had the word masturbating.
Oh dear! I went to see my doctor, and she said, you know, you're going to have to stop masturbating. I was like, oh really? Oh okay. Yeah, sorry. Why is that? She says, because I'm trying to examine you.
Oh, that's one of your better jokes, I have to say. I'm going to use that if I ever do a show again, which is probably highly unlikely.
Let's catch up with some more comments.
Helen said the Pikachu bus joke killed me.
Brilliant. Well, see, there we go.
Hopefully not under the bus, but she liked that one.
Number 17. If you're going to get hit by a bus, you've got to get hit by number 17 right outside the Purple Turtle, and then pop in for a drink. That's the etiquette. That's what you have to do.
I know, and then they'd be wondering, how did he get hit by the number 17 when he lives in Whitley, when the number 6 just goes past? It's very odd behaviour. Amy says, I get passengers wanting to go to Leicester Square.
What are the other kind of mispronounced places? Obviously, Reading. That's quite a really obvious one. But Leicester Square, we've already had Toaster. The other one is Beaver Castle. It is a wonderful castle. It's up on the A1. It goes past. It's up quite far up the A1, way past Grantham. But it's if you were to pronounce it how it is spelt, then you would pronounce it Belvoir. But it's actually Beaver. Looking at me as if I'm making this up, but it's not. This is genuine truth.
Well, this is just I'm not interested, but
whoa, we're going there.
Where is this place? I don't know where the A1 goes. Is that Stansted or somewhere?
No, that's the A10.
Oh, okay.
You're close. You're just like one digit away. No, the A1. As the number implies, was the first A road that goes from London all the way up to Edinburgh.
So that must turn into an M number, an M1.
Oh no, it does. It turns into the A1M. No, it turns into the A1M.
I've probably been on it. M1, is it near Potter's Bar, isn't it?
You have to go. No, you've got to go round the M25 to get to South Mims, and then you can pick up the A1.
Yeah, to go South Mims. You go to the South Mims service station. You cut through service station.
Yes.
The little back road goes into Potter's Bar. That's where I used to work.
Oh well, then maybe it's probably because I didn't really go down to that kind of like part because I
always do lay-bys and shortcuts. It's just my nature.
Yeah, like Stevenage, Huntingdon, Peterborough. That's my neck of the woods. In case everyone's kind of like anyone's mildly interested. So my background is more sort of like Huntingdon, Cambridge kind of way. It goes to Edinburgh. It does, Mark, indeed, and it's good
to see you, Mark.
It's one of the most dullest roads. I've driven up from like not far from Stevenage, but from Huntingdon and that up to Edinburgh. I've driven that, and it's just a long, pretty dull, boring road. Even when it turns into a motorway, not much fun happens.
I must have been on it. I'm sure I have. No, Enfield or something like that, and been near it, but. I don't know. I don't really look out the window much when I'm driving. I mean, Mano's always telling me off to look out the window. Look where you're going. But
you have to look out the window to see where you're going. You're supposed to be looking out for the cars because I know you haven't got a Tesla and it can't do it all for you.
I get very bored when I'm driving. It's like, I'll sit there. I mean, I don't go on phone because that would be illegal. But I do sit there and feel, there's a nice little house over there. Or I think, I'll buy that one day. That's what I do when I'm bored at a weekend. I drive around village going, I'll buy that. I've driven into your wall because I wasn't looking, but I'll buy you at the moment. But yeah, hate driving.
Well, not at the moment because you should only be staying local. Stay local.
I drove to London on Monday. That's local.
Well, no, but you had a specific reason to do that because
they had a wimpy and I was missing my wimpy. It's why it's not too bad for cheap rubbish to be. Or maybe I just haven't drunk all week. So I think anything's good. Darren Eustace says, arrow on the hill, Heathrow. Actually, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or this is just your normal typing, Darren. Arrow on the hill, Heathrow Airs, Arlington, Illingdon. I really... is that the A1 or is that back to masturbation? Where are we?
Well, let's try and digest that one. We've got Harrow on the hill. Heathrow
or Pinner if you've got a bit more money.
Harlington, and I'm guessing that's Hillington.
Hillingdon.
There's
a typo. I
because because I'm from Huntingdon. I know because that was Huntingdon as well. Unless their H key is not working on their phone or their computer.
Darren's confirming he was being sarcastic. It's near Uxbridge. Yes, I do know the area actually because I lived in West London before Reading. And he probably had a date in all of those places.
And the funny thing is, we were being sarcastic too. Yay!
And we never use H's. Well, I don't. I'm so common. Rob says, about South Mims, isn't that a known service station? I don't know, to be fair.
What does that mean? Do people know that it is a service station? I mean, surely it has to be. You have to know that it's a service station so you can stop there for services. I mean, rather than going, oh, what's that? Oh my
it has a sign.
It has a Burger King and a KFC and a Marks and Spencer's. Why don't we stop it? I don't understand.
I'm suggesting.
I'm being facetious, of course. I understand.
Know. I obviously don't do those sort of things, but and actually a service station, all you're going to get is a lot of chuckers. You might as well go at the back of Gillette Way, back of the house, and look there, which you won't find that many, but you do find occasionally. I will add. So what have we had happen this week?
I was just before that, because following on from the theme, apparently there was something I was saying that apparently dogging is coming back. Not something.
Did it go away?
Not something because of lockdown and what have you. But the trouble is, you obviously got to keep 6 cars all socially distanced from each other. So, a station where you can get serviced. Okay, fair enough.
I love the fact that people are educating us. Martin says, there's a lot of words here. We up early. We were up early. Let me correct your grammar.
Insert your own favourite accent to read this out. Here we go.
God, you do the first line, I'll do the second line. Don't use a grammar that's not there. Let me put it back up again.
Where's it gone? We up early this morning, cars serviced, shopping done, and PC crashed this afternoon.
Panic stations, downloading. I can't do accents. Everything and connecting to Radio F.O.D. Sorry, that's one word. Radio F.O.D. And what's the last word? Up and entering music. I'm entering music on Radio F.O.D playlist. So I don't know what accents you've got there. But
that was almost like a Brian Blessed. Gordon's alive. That must have been a really awful day. I'm glad you managed to get everything kind of sorted and what have you. So that because the radio show was like flawless as usual. So
and yeah, do you know what they did on their own? I've got to say this. Usually they do there's always a mic issue with a lot of the equipment we use radio where it's the balance getting right. I'd sorted it beforehand, but it was still quiet. They read it, and then I messaged them. And they managed to do something to sort it out themselves, or did they contact you?
No. I haven't got any messages. Well, they are quite. They're.
So well done to the boys for doing that.
Getting quite technically able, so that's really cool.
So there must be a secret setting on those computers.
I think Martin has said before. There's about 6 or 7 different places where you have to set on the volume, and every time one of them decides to reset itself, and what have you. I love Brendan's comments there. Brilliant. That's just like, we just fixed it with Martin's computer.
Shorter words. I could have used you, Brendan, to do my university assignment in 30,000 words. You could do it in 7 for me. Lovely. Darren's got an update for us. Darren, thank you very much for letting us know. Not a lot has changed with my mother. She went to see for a heart operation, but didn't do anything due to strong medication. But the good thing is, Mum is eating properly. That's good, and bringing up phlegm to get rid of the constant smoking. So that sounds a bit more positive than it was the last couple of weeks. So I hope that improvement continues, to be fair. So what else have you done this week, So?
This week has been another exciting week of work. So yes, it's been a very worky week. We had the long weekend, and I think by about Tuesday, that long weekend was long forgotten. Because yes, can you remember that far back? I think it was Easter, and already, even though it's just the Friday, it feels like it was a lifetime away. But as with other kind of big family holidays, Easter, Schmeaster. I think I just watched telly and didn't really do particularly much, and then stuff happened, which I'm not going to go into. So that kind of caused a lot of kind of stress and worry and concern for Sunday and Monday. But the world is all cool again, so there we go.
And then back to work.
Back to work. Back to work on Tuesday. I've been suffering from a broken laptop, so I can sympathise with Brendan. So my work laptop has been pretty poor for some time. The audio is really rubbish, which doesn't really help when you're trying to do video conferencing most of the days. But I've got a new piece of kit, so I'm very, very pleased because it's not Windows. I'm like, yes, finally, thank you. I can make sure I can no longer have anything Windows apart from the windows to look out to see outside, and the stuff that you should be looking out of when you're driving. Jamie, always look out the windows, especially the one in the front of you, right? Or if you're going backwards, the one behind you.
Yes, I love my petrol bill at the moment.
So yes,
so
but
cheap.
I've had a very, very busy week, and then to kind of bring it all to a nice close, last night David Lane on the chat and I were playing a new game on the PlayStation, which is absolutely brilliant, and it's and I know how much you're not into
I do have a gaming PC that came with loads of these game things. I think I deleted them, and then is a portal to go and play the ones that come free. It's like £800 worth of games. I don't touch them. I don't get it. As you all know, I'm a little competitive. So what's the point? Playing up with strangers.
This was a good game because it was the two of us were playing. So you're both playing along within the same story. But obviously, David's in David's house and I'm here in mine. So it's kind of it's like an online multiplayer, but then there's no one else. It's just the two of us.
Okay.
And we've got to basically solve these puzzles. In order to kind of advance through the level, and it's slowly revealing a wonderful little story as it's going along. There's certain things that I need to do to help David's character to then get through and jump over stuff, and then they need to do stuff, and I can kind of progress. So there's a lot of kind of like problem solving and kind of puzzles and working together. And as always, there is some kind of little bit of fighting scenes. Giant wasps we were fighting yesterday, and I'm pretty bad at that kind of stuff, so it's quite funny. But it's lots and lots of fun. We got only like a little way through, and then when we finished, I think it was about 11 o'clock when we then jumped onto the virtual party and had a nice little chat in there.
Oh, I should have gone to the virtual party last night. I had planned to, but I was just so tired after I finished work, and then obviously getting straight into university work because deadline this weekend, that I was in my bed at 9:30 in a dressing gown. I could have gone on the Zoom actually, because a lot of people do wear their dressing gowns on there. But I just zoomed out. I tried watching a bit of the film.
It's the thing to do.
I live in Whitley. You're pretty used to that, and bunny slippers. But I just couldn't, and I thought, do you know what? I'll sleep. I couldn't sleep very well. But this week's been a weird one because it's been deadline after deadline after deadline after deadline. And then my work threw lots of work for me to do over the weekend, which was really annoying because they knew I had my university assignment to go in, which I'm taking very seriously. Which I can confirm about 7:30, 7:15, I submitted my 30,000 word assignment. and then I thought, I've got to work now. And I thought, no, I'll go and have a bit to eat. I should finish my normal job afterwards. Babs says, hi, loves. Hi, Babs. Nice to see you. Don't forget, Babs, Club F.O.D is coming back to the Blargrave shortly as a roadmap takes its course. Amy's gone into her tunnel. Bye, Amy. Goodbye. Bye. I got. Oh, there's lots of steam in the tunnel.
For those of you that are a little confused, just to kind of remind everybody that Amy does work on the London Underground as a driver. Hence, well, she's going through tunnels. Thank you, Babs, for liking the stream.
I haven't seen her for ages. She used to come down to the original Club F.O.D at the Blargrave. We've got a problem to solve. This is not an agony aunt and uncle now. Jamie, I'm a good cook. How do I stop my hubby feeding the cats with his dinner? I'm just trying to work out in my head, is this a joke? Or
of course. Well, no, so that would be quite interesting. So maybe, yes.
I'm trying to work out, is he eating the cats? I'm not sure.
Yes,
obviously, Sophie gets it, I don't.
No, that's always the funniest thing, literally.
Can you explain it to me? Because I really haven't got a clue. I wanted to stay on the screen.
Seriously.
I'm a good cook. How do I stop my hubby feeding the cats with his dinner?
So the hubby doesn't obviously enjoy the cooking as much as Kevin does, and all the effort that is put into it, and is trying to discreetly give it to their cat. Don't feed your ungrateful husband. Yes, pretty much. Say, well, how's about time you cook for a change?
Oh, I thought it would be more a clever joke than that, and it wasn't. So obviously I think I'm too. What's the word? I like to look at stuff a little too carefully, maybe.
Thank you, Pauline, for liking the stream.
No, Pauline is someone that has come down the Blargrave. So I know her from my spiritualist days when I was a bit spooky. And it's always good to see you, Pauline. Nice to see you. So there's been several bits of tragic news this week, although you might probably have seen it's only one individual we're talking about at the moment. So Prince Philip did sadly lose his life on Friday. Did you see that, Sophie?
You couldn't avoid but seeing it. I mean, when it was announced, it was kind of like, oh my goodness, that's such a shame, because it is a shame.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't that far away from 100, and certainly the last few times that we've seen pictures of them coming back from the hospital, they haven't looked well at all. And I think we all knew it was going to be just a matter of time. But I think, and what I was reading, it was interesting, I was reading earlier on the BBC News that they had to dedicate a special page on the website for people to make complaints because of the quantity of the coverage. I don't think people are complaining of the fact that there was coverage and there was dedication of programmes to things, but I think a lot of people were a bit kind of concerned as to, right, you've got the same thing on BBC One and the same thing on BBC Two, and you've got the same thing on BBC News, and you've got the same thing on the radios and what have you. So whilst I think we're all kind of like generally kind of like sorry, and like heartfelt condolences goes out to the royal family, which I mean I know they're not watching tonight because they've got other things on their mind, but they normally do watch. So
they do.
Those.
Just to get me telegram.
I think people are saying that it's especially because I've got BBC News on pretty much most of the time anyway during the week, even if it's just on mute and in the background. And I kind of used to the fact that they have basically a whole kind of segment of set of which they just repeat throughout the whole day with the same kind of interviews, but obviously with different news presenters kind of bringing it in. But it was just basically the same program on loop with the same people. But then if you think about it, when a significant event happens like that, there's a whole team of people that are just scrambling through the archives trying to pull something together, unless they've kind of pre-prepared it in the event that they knew that he was going to be passing away relatively soon.
I think maybe a lot of the people in the press and the media were probably excited in a sense that they didn't have to talk about let's be perfect timing, COVID for a little while. I must admit, I did make use of that complaint page this morning, and I did send my complaint through, mainly because, bless you, darling. I think for me, I have a routine on a Saturday. I'm trying desperately not to sneeze again. And I haven't had it since December when Mano's been here, because I have my little routine. Are you going to... No, I'm going to catch it. Catch a falling star and rather words and other songs are available. But I think I had a routine on a Saturday before Mano was trapped in the house for 3 months. That meant I'd wake up slowly on a Saturday. BBC News would be on, or the morning show, and then it'd go into Saturday Kitchen. And then I'm switching through, and it's the same news everywhere. And I thought, you know what, this is a little overkill. And I think what's happened is the BBC got slated for the lack of coverage over the Queen Mother at the time when she passed away. Tried to make up for it. You wouldn't put a page up about complaints unless you knew you were going to get complaints. Really.
I think it was because the article that I read, bearing in mind it was also authored by the BBC, was that because of the high number of complaints that they were receiving, in response to that, they put up a page to make it easier for people to kind of complaints. Oh, thank you for reminding me who I am. Goodness, I was worried for a moment, but
it was for my benefit.
God. Sorry, good. I
have been away for 2 weeks.
Thank you for the reminder. That always helps.
It's for people at home to know who they're talking about.
I know. I just been my regular facetious self.
Oh. I mean, it is sad that HOH Prince Philip has passed away, and I think the horrible thing is that the Queen has to keep a composure at all times, whatever's happening. And to lose your life partner, I mean, we don't use that. We used to use that word all the time. We're talking for gay couples and lesbian couples, but the true sense of the word, Prince Philip and the Queen were life partners. I can't imagine. Well, I can imagine. I lost my husband, but for someone, that's a long period of time though. Prince Philip and the Queen. So
I know that on The Crown we're not supposed to kind of believe everything that is kind of shown in the programme. Sorry everybody, James going for wee again. He's trying to pretend that it is a cartoon.
Yes, is that big?
Of wine. Excuse me.
I'm sneezing, you're coughing. We've had the jab.
No, well, it was fine earlier. I was just constantly yawning. On The Crown, one of the things that was quite apparent was that whilst they had some very difficult, very very difficult patches through their marriage, that they'd kind of come out on the other side of all of that, kind of significantly stronger, and kind of more loyal to each other, rather than just having kind of loyalty to the kingdom. But yes, no, I do feel sorry for her.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope that, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, because I know what it's like from the other side, that a normality for the country can return. So, I mean, to be fair, pubs are opening on Monday, or outdoor spaces, so I think most of the public would be like, yeah, off to the pub, if they can get a spot. Brendan says, and yeah, Jamie got that right. Manu was actually trapped in Jamie's house for months.
I reckon that must have been that was a missed opportunity for a. I was just laughing at Martin there. I think that was a missed opportunity for like a Big Brother style kind of TV game show. Welcome to the Jamie and Mano's escape from Jamie's. Let's see how far we got. Oh, he's managed only to get as far as Lidl today, and he's having to go back carrying all of the shopping. Mano's trying to escape, and no, you went for a bike ride, but then you came back with one bike apparently. So it's like lots of things kind of happened, but yes, Mano has escaped and is back in the land of London. Hello, Mano, because I'm sure that they're watching as well.
He's
He's
lived it for 3 months, or a year almost. But it's interesting that you said Big Brother there, because we also saw that sadly Nikki Graham lost her life as well over the weekend. I love Nikki. Royal pain in the arse. See, we're linking 2 deaths there, we're doing that. But, you know, she used to say, "Who is she? Who is she?" I can't do the impression, and probably not respectful.
I never watched it. I mean, obviously, you know, I think she passed away from a eating disorder, and it's, you know, it's a very kind of serious subject in itself, because I know people who has lost loved ones very dear to them from eating disorders, and one particular friend has got they're based out in America, and they've got a charity which they have set up in their daughter's name to help raise awareness on the difficulties and the conditions around eating disorders, and does a lot of work and support for the community there local to them, to kind of help people that are going through the same kind of things.
It's still a condition is not the wrong word. I know it is a condition, but it's still something that's happening in every community, unfortunately. And like any, I think, with a psychological background there, with any condition like that, it's something I think we probably need to tackle as a society, rather than just medically or clinically, if that makes sense. Because people have these thoughts or opinions and self-doubts, and, you know, yes, they are internalised, but they come from somewhere, you know. Darren says, in other news, LOL, anybody seen snow today? Well, sprinkles. Well, I saw sprinkles, but it wasn't snow. I was having an ice cream. Did you see snow in your end of Reading, so?
No, I was out. I went out to the Abbey ruins today, and how was I like the other Bring Brendan's one up. That's quite cool. That's quite funny. I don't know, who is she? Oh no, that was to. Oh, I'm getting lost in the comments. I didn't know whether that was a reference to what Jamie said or whether that was a reference to Darren. No, so I was having a Colours and Fires. No other music is available. You have to, apart from Helen's music, obviously. But no, I put that way. That doesn't mean that's not Helen. That's Jamie. Did not read the thing underneath last time that was there just a minute ago. I lost my thread there. So I went for a photo shoot to a Colours and Fires thing up by the Abbey ruins today, and there was rain but no snow. But we had snow Easter weekend, but I know other parts of the country did have quite a lot of snow today. There was a couple of videos that I saw.
Easter weekend was beautiful. I mean, I finally had my Christmas dinner on Sunday, so Brendan Martin, also Barry, come over. I didn't save the turkey from Christmas. I'm not that bad or rude. But when I saw the price of turkeys, I thought, sod it, you can have that bit of meat instead. So that was like beautiful weather, and then I had to run off and do my show. But then the weather's changed again, hasn't it? It's just been.
We're supposed to get. Well, I'm happy with the weather. I'm happy with the weather being cold. So all of next week, I think it's supposed to start getting warmer, because on the 19th I go on holiday. Woo! So I want the weather to be nice for when I'm going on holiday, because it's in the UK, because that's all where we're allowed to go.
That's all we can do now, isn't it? I did look on Facebook memories, and this time last year we had a mini heat wave, because a picture came of me in a hammock in the garden, and I was in shorts and t-shirt. So that was very, very odd. But yes, I've got my holiday a few weeks after yours, and I'm hoping that, you know, we are staycationing now. Well, I'll be glamping. That will get the weather. Martin's letting us know. Letting us know. Also, RP. Oh, I've got all Worsley. DMX. Sophie mentioned this before we came live. I don't really know who he is. I thought she was talking about something completely different in lighting, but it was a rapper.
Yeah,
I think you said it was.
I think I don't. It's one of those things that it's not somebody that I've kind of listened to their music or I follow them, but I'm sure if people were to show me or kind of I were to see things that they've done, films that they've been in, I'd probably go, oh right, okay, so I'm not too familiar, but yes, no, I heard that they had also passed away, along also with, and please do remind me of their name, I had it earlier and it's just completely escaped me, but the chap who plays the father
Friday Night Dinner.
Friday Night Dinner. So yes, roast squirrel for the Bambinos and shit on a stick. So it's very sad. Paul Ritter, was that their name?
If someone can Google and let us know.
It's quite a sad week in that respect.
It's been a lot of people. We're used to it. I think we've been so used to people dying over the last year through the pandemic. And I think as soon as we hear people we know, and I think that's what's happened, is that we hear about deaths and we've known so many people to lose their lives to COVID. But now we're hearing names of people we don't know, but we do know because we're in the press or celebrities and that sort of thing. Mark's saying, because he's obviously up in Scotland, heavy snow in
Arbroath.
Arbroath?
Is it Arbroath? Is Arbroath? This is when we have the mickey taken out of us because we can't even say and pronounce the names of places north of the border.
And I got a Scottish heritage. Well, I haven't. My dad has. Well, he didn't at the time, but it was with my mum at the time. But very complicated.
No, I'm several thousand miles kind of south, like Gibraltar. That's about like in comparison to like
you
Scotland,
get monkeys.
That's
I got snails and worms.
Yes,
Brendan said he liked.
They're my relatives.
Say that again.
I was saying they're my relatives, the monkeys.
Oh, I want to get a monkey, but I don't think I'm allowed to get one. Brendan was referring to Nicky Graham. He loved her, but Jay Goody and a kebab. It's not often I get to say that. Well, no, King's Grill hasn't been your local delicacy for a little while, but I'm sure that will change. Martin says other ice cream parlours are available. Are you watching on catch up, Martin? Because we talked about ice cream half an hour ago. Darren says English weather never predictable.
I probably put the comment in there about half an hour ago, but we've been gassing so much that we missed it.
No. Darren says English wealthier, never been predictable. You tell that to my bank manager.
Yes. I mean, the good thing about the English weather is that it's just everything is typical of English weather because we're in England and therefore the weather is English. So whatever happens, it's typical of English weather.
People come to this country.
It was always the golden rule, though, wasn't it? That especially like the Easter bank holiday weekend, and then the next couple of ones that are coming up. Growing up in Cambridgeshire, there's one of the kind of villages outside of Cambridge called Bourne, and there's an old kind of disused runway that's there, like an old army barracks it used to be back in the war, and they always just have Bourne Market, which was just basically miles and miles of market stall holders selling tat, but it was obviously the place to go, and it was, you could always tell it's a bank holiday Bourne Market because it is tipping it down with rain. So that's the other thing that we associate with our English weather is that bank holidays, it's probably raining, but obviously for Easter it was mixture of snow as well.
You said market, I got excited. I had markets and boot fairs. You know how camp I am. If you had noticed, above Sophie's head there is a little bar chart or actually it's a chart with no bar. Obviously, every month we try and set a goal to raise money for local charities, projects and causes within the local area that do benefit to the LGBT plus community. We haven't really raised anything so far this month. It's very simple to do. All you've got to do is visit www.SaturGAY.co.uk and it'll take you to our portal. In fact, the link is in the description of whatever platform you're watching us on live here on F.O.D TV. Every little helps, every little makes a difference, but of course we need your suggestions to tell us where to spend it. So here are the FOD uncles to tell you exactly how you can help us to help you.
What do you reckon the theme's going to be when the pubs reopen?
I think we've got a bit of time to talk about that. In the meantime, we need to talk to these good people.
Oh, sorry. Hello, we are the FOD uncles from Club F.O.D. We are an LGBT plus charity based in Reading.
As a charity, we raise funds and periodically give grants to groups who support our charity's aims. As a charity, we want our community to come up with suggestions as to who our grants go to, and at the moment we have funds which are available to issue as grants.
As part of our community, do you know of any individual, group, business, organisation or company that actively support the LGBT plus community that you feel could benefit from our support?
Please have a think about this and contact us. We really do want you to get in touch, so please email us at
funds@f-o-d.co.uk. That is funds@f-o-d.co.uk, all lowercase, and give us a brief reason why you feel Club F.O.D could help.
And also please include contact details for your nomination.
Thank you in advance.
Martin.
Brendan. Thank you. Cheers.
Coming to you a telephone near you. They'd be very good for that, wouldn't they? Do those appeals on children in need or comic relief. Maybe not.
One of the things oh, you've just gone into one of the ears as opposed to in both of them. That was really weird.
Ooh, having moments.
Right. I know, so it was in this ear. This ear just went comic relief. It was like, what? Okay, hello, fine, fair enough. No, one of the things that I was going to say is I noticed before that when you go into SaturGAY.co.uk and you make your donation, when it takes you through to the portal, one of the things is that you can add a message on that. Does that message go through to the donation, or is that message just for when it comes up on the screen?
It goes through to the donation. It doesn't come up on the screen, because I've gone back and looked at some of the messages actually that I didn't know were there. Some people put some really lovely comments there, which have been absolutely glorious to read.
We obviously we are raising money for the fund of diversity, but you will see that on Facebook and what have you, there are other kind of like fundraising things that are taking place on the Radio F.O.D posts, on the F.O.D TV kind of posts. So if you wanted some of your money to go kind of specifically to the radio, then in that donation on the comment, just if you put for radio, because we still have to pay for the although we did have the National Lottery grant, that only covers us for kind of a specific period of time, and that helps with the cost of the licenses for PRS and IPL, which kind of help from the royalties perspective, which is why we're allowed to play all that amazing wonderful music. And then also for Mondays, when the quiz, I guess we had a bit of a break from the quiz because it was a bank holiday, that cost us money to put that on. It's free to enter, but it costs us money to actually put that on.
Free to enter, but you're going to pay to exit.
A pay to exit, yes. So maybe, on the comment that you make on the donation, if you would prefer that, on this occasion, could it go to the radio, or could it go to the quiz, or could it go to F.O.D TV, or even to the befriending service as well? Just put that in the comment, and that helps us when we get the kind of payments coming through, that we can make sure that we're putting them in and aligning them to the correct bucket within our kind of finances. Thank you.
And do you know what, Sophie? I'm proud. I'm sitting here as a proud gay man at the moment, but I'm also proud that when we started this, it wasn't called F.O.D TV at the time, we never envisaged that we would actually be doing our own services for the LGBT plus community. We started off as just not just, it's the wrong way of saying it, a dedicated LGBT night in Berkshire that was monthly, moved to weekly, and then we gained charity commission recognition and registration, and were able to do things that helped further our aims of preventing social isolation within the LGBT plus community. And you'll hear us talk about a lot of the services we deliver because they're needed. We know that social isolation still exists. So some of the services that we are introducing or about to introduce are about where social isolation already exists. It's about us trying to reduce that as far as we can. So, for example, the befriending service or the planned youth club for LGBT youth. So every penny that you donate goes to something that helps others. Now I've turned into little Miss Telephone now doing that.
I know, and that's the thing. It's an important thing for people to realise as well, and just kind of like we're going to try and keep obviously with the radio, definitely with as things start opening up. So for Monday, some people are going to feel confident enough that they can go out for a drink. There's going to be a lot of people that it's still going to be a bit too soon. Right, maybe they've been shielding, or maybe they don't feel too comfortable with large numbers. So we're going to try and keep the shows kind of going as well. And even when when's the next big date? Is the 17th of May, and then which then translates for us, which is the 22nd of May. Then for the first kind of Bloodgrave evening. Even on that Saturday, we're still going to try and do something online.
We still have the radio and the TV,
and what have you. And then even after the 21st of June, we can see and assess the situation and see, how we're doing this. So, hopefully we think that the radio is definitely here to stay, and we'll carry on doing this for as long as we think is necessary.
Yes, because we know that for some people this and other things that we do are literally can be a lifesaver for many. I think, as Sophie just said, F.O.D TV will continue, and radio F.O.D will do as much, and potentially the quiz. We also know that come Monday, even though pub gardens are able, there are some people that won't feel comfortable going into a straight bar. And until that time, we'll be holding your hand, not physically, because we've got to be 2 meters away, but we will hold your hand all the way through. So that's why we have a full lockdown listing here at Club F.O.D. Would you like to know what that's happening over the next week, Sophie?
That's a great segue. What's happening this week on the world of F.O.D land?
Well, let's tell you, F.O.D land, F.O.D land. We need those full stops more clearer. Let's find out straight after this.
What do you get if you give a hot leather daddy a mic and a boot full of MP3s? Mule Cap and Music, every Sunday at 7 p.m, only on Radio F.O.D, where there really is no place like home.
Oh, look, now we're in black and white because I wanted to keep in the format that we were doing. So let's bring it up. Everything's black and white after leather.
Cheeky little advert there for someone's radio show. Now
we'll be bringing them in every week.
we have Brendan and Gary and Rachel going, where's my video advert? That's not fair. I want that. I want that.
You make them, we'll bake them. That's all I can say. And yes, every show we do now will have feature details of one of the shows that we do. But in the meantime, let's here give you a reminder of what's coming up over the next 7 days. Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening when I press that button?
I don't know. You're looking a bit pale, mate.
I set everything up deliberately. There we go. I'll press that. So as the little snippet said, I'm not. Serpanova will be with you on Radio F.O.D at 7. Expect music, conversation and phone-ins because we've got that working now. On Tuesday, I believe it is the Lady Loft. Correct me if I'm wrong in the background there, Sophie. She's nodding. So the Lady Loft will be with Rachel at 8 p.m. on Radio F.O.D. On Thursday, Gary's Oral Pleasure will be on the radio. That starts at 7 unless you hear otherwise.
I think it might be 8 o'clock. I think it might be 8 o'clock.
As you can hear there, Sophie said it's 8 o'clock. But keep an eye out, or if you haven't liked the Radio F.O.D page, Facebook page, go and like it because they update the changes all of the time. On Friday, 6 p.m, the F.O.D Uncles were back on the radio, and that's followed at 9 p.m. with the SaturGAY virtual party. On Saturday, the F.O.D Uncles are back at 5 p.m, which is followed by Gloria and Sophie at 8 p.m. with SaturGAY Live, because I only do it every other week now. And that's followed by the SaturGAY virtual party. And then on Sunday, obviously, Serpanova, my Butch Leather brother, back with Muir, Cap and Music. Don't forget, you too can be part of the lockdown listings. We're looking for pre-recorded and live content that can entertain or educate the LGBT plus community, not just in Reading, but as we found out, worldwide. All you got to do is send us a message, and you don't need any experience or expertise because we will give you all of the technical know-how. So let's move straight back into our colour world. There we go. See what
back in colour, a little bit pixelated, but we're fine, and we're doing the robot dance as well. So there we go.
The robot dance. I've got a bit of crusty bread in my tooth. Have you ever had that? A bit of something stuck. Everyone thinks I've been chewing my mouth during the show. It's not. I've got a little something stuck in my. These aren't real at the front, but it's it's a bit bad. Darren says, came in second in quiz. It's also about meeting me doing also about meeting people. I'm talking about problems on safe which you guys agree with. I know you're being serious, Dan. I belittled that, so I do apologise, Darren, as I said that.
It was like a really bad episode of Points of View. Do you remember that? Points of View used to come up with this big long letter, and they used to have these people trying to do impressions of who they think the person is that's actually sent that letter in.
You can do the next one. It's from Brendan. Who's the next letter?
Oh my goodness. Well, to be fair, I'm not even going to try and offend Brendan with a very bad Irish accent, because that would just be plain racist. So all we wanted was right. Apparently, I'll read it from. It
doesn't last long, does it, on the screen?
All we originally wanted was a one night a month at the Blagrave where LGBTQ plus community took priority. None of us had the experience with green screens and radios. It's still a bit bizarre. I mean, we've all learnt so much about the various different ways of kind of broadcasting, even from the extent of, for what we do here on SaturGAY Live when you're driving or when I'm driving. If you look at a lot of the live streams and what have you, I think we're really pushing the boundaries of what the software can do to try and create this kind of interactive experience and bring you involved in the conversation as well. The radio's been a bit of a learning curve for everybody, because we're not radio producers, you're not radio DJs, we've never done this before, so it's all kind of big kind of learning curves. So it's really, really, it's a lot of fun to do. And if you've got a program or something, or a snippet or a video that you want us to share and feature, then let us know. We're always, we spent like a whole year asking for you too can also provide content, and we look forward to receiving something so that we can actually put that on.
Yes, because we're a partnership. All of us, we're a family, we're a community. And that is what Club F.O.D is all about. It's about the glue that holds us all together. It's community. Brendan's confirming that Gary is on at 8 on Thursday, so I'm glad we have the confirmation. David said it's like WandaVision. Okay. I haven't seen it, but I know it's on Disney Plus.
Right, no, that's a great. That's brilliant. So does that mean that I have to get red hair, don't I, to be?
I can grab one. I've got one in here. No, I haven't. But I've got nothing in here. No fancy dress in this room. It's really odd. Mark asks, "Is the quiz back next Monday?" You didn't mention it. I do apologise if I missed off Monday. I am back with quiz on Monday, so do not panic. Mark, are you available to take part and win? Because you're the clever one. Although people do win that somehow in our quiz, and we don't know sometimes how they do it.
I managed the other week. I actually managed to come second. I have literally no idea how much. I mean, I know David's used to coming second like week after week after week. And
don't know if he does it when he's on his own.
He's probably at home going, yeah, thanks for that. It's other times he has come like 6th or 7th. Spends a little bit of time on number one kind of position, and then invariably comes down. I think there was once where David did win, and as a special treat, Jamie, you deducted 100 points, so he ended up dropping down to the bottom. So it was
if you have the power, you use it.
Was so
That's
funny.
what I can say.
It's lots and lots of fun. We do have a good laugh when we're doing that, and it's not kind of streamed out. It's all what happens in the quiz stays in the quiz.
Yes, we did stream it at the beginning, but I just forget every time, so we don't bother doing it. Brendan says, Jamie, are you doing the radio phone-ins again tomorrow? I can ask Serpent for you. He did start them last week, and then realised he didn't have anything to say really, and then just said, "What do you want to play?" and didn't have the songs, so just told you what you wanted to listen to.
So Jamie, did you dial into Serpanova's show and try to have
I
a
didn't.
conversation? Did you?
I didn't.
Because that'd be quite interesting. That would be very interesting. You could have
Pre-recorded,
you have a group chat. It's on the radio. You don't need to pre-record anything. You can have a group chat. I think it would be really interesting where you've got you're interviewing Supernova and Serpanova, and understand from them what it takes to have that big long lasting relationship, and with both of them kind of working in the kind of entertainment business, the kind of the struggles and woes, and you can contrast that with your own personal experience as being kind of like a live stream TV kind of reporter as well. I think people would love to hear that Oprah kind of interview, that kind of real heartfelt kind of interview. Jamie interviewing Serpanova and Supernova, talking about from the way back to 1874 Leather World and up to wherever we are today. I think that would be would that not be a great idea, people? Do you not think?
I think the bit you could take from that is Sophie just said, wherever we are today. She didn't have a clue what she was doing, what day it was. So at least I may be set in ancient tablets, but I know those tablets are set in stone and come from a period. Oh, maybe not a period, but you know exactly what I was referring to. David says you're rude, then goes, and yes, Brendan's reminding you forgot James. James is the other one. So to explain, because
I didn't know. So Jamie
Yes.
and I didn't know about
James.
Jamie
Yes.
and James.
I have to explain this. So when I was out on the leather scene, I didn't want people back home in Reading knowing I was going to activities, events, things abroad and stuff. So I created a character called James Leatherlad. No, not real too different, because people were seeing me in leather jeans all the time.
Would that be Serpanova and Supernova's delinquent son?
No. James Leverlad was first. In fact, James Leverlad was created literally the week before Selwyn died. In fact, he was doing videos the night before. Very awkward. And then, so James Leverlad, after winning Miss Lever UK, started being phased out a little bit. Still exists, but it's James Leverlad that gets booked for different activities in the LGBT plus lever community around the world. So Serpanova's the entertainer. James Leverlad's the sexy hot daddy, whatever you want to call him, who likes activities. Yes. And Supernova is just something I can do. Really.
Steve's
maybe not
the first lady of Berkshire.
Yes. She was the first drag queen in Berkshire, that's why. Really?
I
All
love,
those years ago?
I love this whole kind of talk show thing is really forming in my head, because with Brendan's other comment as well, and Kermit. So Kermit could be right. Hey Gloria, Kermit could be hosting the chat and contrasting. So like a five-way conversation. You got Jamie, James, Sue, and Sir. This just sounds like it's a video that needs to be made.
For
But look at the thrill and excitement on Jamie's face. He loves that.
It's bad enough. I have got to record. I'm in the process of doing it. I think it's 84 different scenes for World Fetish Vision, the gay Eurovision.
Yes.
I'm a host, and I have had literally this week some really exciting news about it, but I'm not allowed to say anything. But I'll be able to announce on the day of the next event, I think. I believe it's so annoying because I had to ask me something and I can't say anything. Yes. So, and I have actually put Sophie. I have given my details. I'll try to give my details of Reading Pride. I know other people don't have to do that, but I thought I will. You know what? If I was going to be involved in Pride again this year, I don't want to do Sue. I want to do Jamie or James or Serpanova, whatever we call him.
We'll have to see. So just a quick mention on that. Obviously, I think people know that I'm also in the on the organising committee for Reading Pride. Whilst we have put out the Jamie, why don't you go to the toilet while I'm you always do it while I'm talking.
No,
Goodness me. Goodness me.
You either drive me to drink or I don't know.
So we have opened up applications for the main stage and also for the Pride Extra stage, which is the kind of like the cabaret stage. The applications for Pride Alive is not currently open. I'm kind of like coordinating that stage as normal. So we're gonna kind of hold off a little bit. We still don't fully know. Oh, God, why'd you at least put me on a single screen if you're going to start picking?
Oh, I forgot I was still here. Sorry.
With a pair of pliers. I don't get that crazy hair. Hang on a second. There's me trying to talk. I'm quite nice and polite when you're talking, and I'm sharp. There's you trying to pick your nose and do all sorts of nonsense. My word, I'm so sorry, everybody. That was as David said, rude. Anyhow, so we're still trying to figure out what it is that we can do. Just because things are going to be opening up from the 21st of June and the legal requirements going, doesn't mean it's going to go straight back to how everything was like a few years back. So we're still kind of looking into that. We're still kind of waiting to hear what we are going to be and not going to be allowed to do, what kind of restrictions we are going to have or not going to have. So we're starting to kind of identify who's interested, and with some of the main stage acts, because other bookings, other Pride festivals are available, other shows are available. Those kind of bigger acts do get booked up kind of fairly quickly, which is why we kind of opened them up just so that we can be fully prepared. But for the Pride Alive stage, that's still closed for now, but it will be opening, and I will let everybody know through the various different channels and what have you. So yes, fingers crossed, we are going to be able to do something amazing for Reading Pride, but until we get closer, it's just pure speculation.
Yes, but they're always best to put a plan in place just in case, isn't it? And I guess a lot of festivals are doing the same thing. I know that I'm going to Rewind, or potentially could be going to Rewind.
They put an interesting statement. I think what was the most interesting thing about that statement is they put it in such a small photo with such a tiny writing that it was incredibly hard to read. Which basically
we all got emails as well.
That I think basically they're saying that they're not too particularly fussed at the moment. However, if you are concerned, that's fine. We can give you a refund. If anything was to happen and they're not going to be able to do the event, then it's going to carry over to next year, so people are not kind of like missing out on the money. But one of the things I thought was quite interesting is that the point that they were making is that there are government kind of trials of these kind of large stadia. I think that's how they're phrasing it, events. Interestingly, though, none of those none of those large stadia events are music based.
Yes.
So they're all about kind of big sports and stuff and what have you.
Where seats are usually involved as well.
It's going through. It's like most things with the government. It's going through a very select few specific set of suppliers and providers, probably friends of other kind of MPs and what have you. So it will be interesting to see what the outcome of those trials are, but those trials aren't necessarily around kind of like music style events, so it's going to be very difficult. It's the correlations they're going to make as to what it is that we can and can't do from a music festival. And obviously I know you're hoping that because Rewind is basically everybody's outside, and you're in the VIP area and you've got your own little tent and you're not allowed to be in anybody else's tent. You know, you've already got your own kind of social distancing.
No one's coming in mine.
I think it's in the main kind of open other areas where people are just kind of sat on picnic blankets and stuff and what have you, and just kind of just generally mingling. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see what's happening.
What I found very interesting under the statements, because Rewind have plugged it in all their groups that they belong to, is a number of people saying, well, I'm refusing the vaccination, so why should I be penalised? I'm like, you're refusing it and you're not doing it for a medical ground, you're doing it out of principle. So I believe in the COVID vaccination passport, although it has to be right when we've got everyone vaccinated and people recognise who can't have it. You know,
I think it's fair for significant events. I think from what I've seen, the press and everything are still really scaremongering, because they've been asking very directly, will you need to show your, I liked it was last week or something when Boris Johnson was saying, oh, we don't want to call it passports, we'd much rather
pop the bugle.
I have to be a certificate. So the vaccine kind of certification of authentication of vaccination is not going to be required to go to the shops or to pubs and what have you. And then everyone's complaining, said, like, well, I don't. The Labour guy was like, but people want to go to Dorothy Perkins Next and Matalan. It was like, yeah, Leicester, you've got some great shops there. That's a great advert. And no, they're already saying that they're not going to be doing that, yet people are still complaining about it. It was like big, large events. We know we're going to need it for travel, and unless you've got some very kind of good reasons, and there are some incredibly, really strong, good reasons as to why you can't, but because you're anti-vaxxer is not one of those kind of reasons, unfortunately.
If you want to go to somewhere like Kenya, you have to have certain vaccinations to travel. That if you want to work
exactly.
it used to work when I started in the social health and SaturGAY industry. If I wanted one of my staff to go work in an NHS environment, there were rules under PASA. And they had to have a list of these vaccinations before they could go work on a hospital ward. This is not an unusual concept. And for those who don't want a vaccination passport, you actually have one on your phone. You don't even realise it. I don't know how I can get this.
It's the white screen. That's
I know. If you have an app for your doctor, and I do, I have several because one's had prescriptions. Your COVID vaccination is on there. If you've not looked and checked, that is your passport, and you didn't even know you had it already. So people are making all this mountain out of a molehill, and they had it. Are you pooing there, Soph? Are you?
I was having a pee. I was having.
I pee, she poos. It's classy.
In the form of some Cronenberg.
Chronic and buggered. Yes, it's a poo.
Happy Cronenberg poo day. Cheers.
Oh, I'm an Aldi Sauvignon Blanc, but there we go. Every life has its moment. So today we've learnt a lot. We've learnt about how we're responding to Prince Philip. We've learnt how what we remember about Nicky Graham from Big Brother. We've learnt about Sophie has found a new game. What else have we learnt, Sophie? Because my brain is just not working.
There was so much today. The SaturGAY has brought you the letters P and Q and the number 47. We didn't even talk about the circle. Oh my days! We did not even talk about the circle.
Get it in quickly, because I need to do my waving and dancing.
Maybe like Helen and I will talk about it possibly in the virtual after party, which not after party. No, it's not after party. It's not after party at all.
The virtual party that started 20 minutes ago.
Oh my God, there's going to be a disciplinary hearing now. It's just because I've said the wrong word. Goodness me, it's good job I didn't swear, because that would have been awful. So the confession with the circle, for those that haven't watched the circle, I don't know what series number they're up to. It's the biggest pile of rubbish that you will ever see on television, but you can't stop watching it. It's like a very slow car crash, and it's the kind of thing like you then have to watch the next one, because that curiosity about, oh my goodness, how much more like ridiculous is this going to get? But it's quite funny, and I started watching it fairly early on, and I watched it. It was like a couple of 3 episodes, and I had it on record, and then I forgot about it, and then I found I had loads and loads and loads to watch, so I jumped straight back in. And there was a whole change of people in there. So for Jamie, because I don't think you are familiar with the circle, given your description of it earlier. Basically, it's like a Big Brother style type of thing, but everybody's in individual rooms, okay, and no one can see each other, and the only way that you can communicate with the other people in the game is through some kind of chat portal, and then slowly you kind of vote people off and play silly games and stuff and what have you. And so that's the basic kind of premise. Sometimes the person is a genuine person, then it's going to be them, or they can be a catfish and they're pretending to be somebody else. And it was just really, really, really good. And I caught up for the second last, I think it was like 3 shows before the final. Very quickly got back into it to see who were the characters that I recognised before, who were the new people, and then leading up to the final. And as they were starting listing out like the 5th place, I got the 5th place right, and then I was adamant about who was going to be picked 4th, and then I'm literally, it's like a scene out of Google Box. I'm just sat here. I live alone. I'm sat here on my sofa. I'm literally screaming at the television, going, "No, what? Seriously, how? That's just crazy." And then as it's going through, and I was then adamant as to who was going to be in 3rd place. Got it completely wrong. Who was going to be, and every time, and it was kind of like when they eventually announced the winner, I just felt so sorry for Manrika, who came second in there. She looked really, because she started getting close to one of the contestants, who the character was Felix, but was actually being played by this lady called Natalia. And Manrika was convinced that Felix was real. So when they did the meet everybody at the end, she had a face like thunder. It was hilarious, and it was just so brilliant. So yes, there we go. There is your circle update. And I missed the message that you put up for Mark. I'm so sorry. Congratulations to the female jockey who has won the Grand National today, which is absolutely an incredible feat. It's an interesting kind of event, that, because there are so many horses that participate, and unfortunately there's so many of them where that would be their last ever kind of race, through either injury or even sadly through death of falling, because it's quite a tough
I'm not a fan of the National. It's
kind of it's
cruel.
It's kind of, it is very, very cruel, but we still are obsessed as a nation with it. But yes, there we go.
And the circle sounded like catfishing to me. I think that's what it was, wasn't it?
Well, I know you weren't paying attention whilst I was doing it, because, even though you may not have been excavating your nose with the largest... It looked like it was barbecued tweezers.
Oh, no, I had this really annoying hair, and I thought...
we could all see. We could all see.
I thought there's a camera in front of me, I can see it. And I thought... But I forgot.
Me.
Then I put you on solo, and I thought... No, I can't see it. How do I get it?
You got all those cameras.
You know what I'm doing in a minute? I'm going to take that hair and get it out.
I think the virtual party room is probably open. And
yes, absolutely.
I am looking forward to, fingers crossed, seeing as many of you that are watching tonight.
Invite your friends.
Invite your friends, share your friends. Let's bring everybody into that virtual party. It's going to be lots of fun. I think we're pretty much out of topics.
We are, and this is the longest I've ever done SaturGAY Live for. So, are you only getting that? Oh, Lawrence is here. A bit late, Lawrence. About to close. Goodbye. There we are. So, you've heard about what we've talked about tonight. The virtual party, the doors, trapdoors, are open. All it remains for us to say is you're special, you are unique, keep being as fabulous as you are, and remember, spread the love, don't spread the germs, because we're almost out of it. So good night from me, Jamie Wake.
Good night for me, and the link is in the description. So to answer Lauren's question, which you didn't answer, what's the code for the Zoom? It's in the link, is in the description of wherever it is that you're watching. If it's on YouTube, it's there, and everywhere else as well, Facebook and that. I am Sophie from Colours and Fires. Thank you for your company tonight.
Yes, and we will see you. Well, I'll see you in a fortnight. Sophie, no, I'll see you Monday for quiz, and tomorrow for...
I'll see you, so the SaturGAY Live next week. I am driving again. Fingers crossed. Gloria is going to be hosting that with me. I'm looking for one contestant. If you'd like to be... Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're doing it as well. Mark Young, my darling friend, could you put the link for the room thing in the WhatsApp group so Lawrence can grab that? Be very, very kind. Thank you.
If you would like to be a contestant on my SaturGAY Live, then hopefully we're still going to do a quiz. And we're going to try and involve other people as well. But at the very minimum, if we could have one person put themselves forward, that would be amazing. Otherwise, I'll ask I'll be asking, like the teacher. Well, if no one puts their hand up, I'm going to ask somebody. So that would be really cool if we could do that, please.
Yes. So on behalf of myself and Sophie, keep safe, keep being fabulous, and we'll see you all very, very soon. And we will leave you with this. Good night. God bless.